I'm interested to know, I mean, outside of, you had the individual who got, murdered in front of you, the banker who came to your school, but who was it first that came into your life at what age that you identified that, oh, this person has money?
I'm gonna answer that in a different way than I'll answer your question the way you want me to. So there's a difference between being broke and being poor.
Mm-hmm.
Being broke is economic, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind, a depressed condition of our spirit, and we must vow never, ever, ever to be poor again. The reason I vibed on you, man, was you're not poor, brother. I mean, you have a spirit of wealth. You have a spirit of authenticity. I didn't meet you, I felt you. I felt your energy, I felt your authenticity. And when people meet somebody, it's a vibe, it's an energy. We're not human beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. So wealth is not monetary. Wealth is a mindset. And my mother, Juanita Smith, God rest her soul, passed away 2 Septembers ago, 89 years old. She worked a job for 32 years at $15 to $18 an hour. McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, and died a millionaire. Had a will, had an insurance policy, worked an hourly job, bought and sold 7 homes, and died with $1 million net worth, and made me the trustee of her estate when she died. It had a credit score of 854, which means she wasn't black, she was green. My mother once told me, in addition to telling me she loved me every day of my life, and somebody told you for sure you were loved, without question. Your president I met, somebody told her mom and dad, that she was loved, because I met her and you could tell instantly. So in addition to telling me she loved me every day of my life, she was also funny and didn't take any mess. I said, Mom, you gonna get married again? She said, I don't know, baby. If I get married, he's gonna be a BMW. I said, Mom, that's vain. Why would you do something for a car? She said, no, baby. A black man working.
Oh, my God.
My mother was gangster, man.
Boy, that was a gut puncher right there, boy.
So what I would say today, the way I would upgrade that software, anybody watching this, you want to be like Cam, you want to be like me. Understand that 3,000 years before marriage was spiritual and God endowed it with spirituality, marriage was a business. It was a business contract. When you go to the club tonight, hey man, she's fine. Oh, he's so handsome. Oof. What's your name? What's your credit score? I'm joking, but I'm serious.
Off the dribble?
Off the dribble. Because when the breasts drop and the rear end drops and the looks go away, that's your business partner for life. So unless you're just trying to have some fun for a moment, whoever you pick will either raise you. So
take your time. We ain't got nothing but time. I like where you at. Speak on it.
In a relationship is the only time where the math shouldn't work. It should be.
In a relationship is the only time what?
The math should not work.
Math, M-A-T-H.
I like math because it doesn't have an opinion.
Say less.
So if you're not better together, what are you doing? So 2 plus 2 should not equal 4. 2 plus 2 should equal 6, 8, or 10. It's multiplication, not addition. If who you're with does not make you better, bye, Felicia. Let the doorknob hit you where the dog should have bit you. Bye, you ain't got to go, but you got to get the hell out of here. If you hang around 9 broke people, you're going to be the 10th. So you have got to watch your environment. And the closest thing to you is your partner, your mate. So a giver and a giver is exotic. That's you and me. A giver and a taker is neurotic. And a taker is psychotic. Most relationships.
That's came for that. And that boy came back with the, I ain't even need that one, boy. Man, hey. Chugga. Rewind. One more time, Mr. John.
A giver and a giver is exotic.
That's it for mating purposes, just so.
That's what I'm saying.
Come on now.
That's what I'm saying. When you meet somebody and you're serious about them, if they're not serious about their credit score, they're not serious about their life. We live in a credit capitalist environment. If they're not serious about the decisions they're making, I don't care how cute you are. You can be cute and dumb. Bye. That will fall away. There are no ugly billionaires. There are no ugly centimillionaires. You become successful, that stuff will come to you anyway. Don't stop tripping about it. You want to set yourself up for success. Again, everything you do in your life has to be intentional. So my mother intentionally said to me in Compton and South Central, I love you. You're God's child. You're amazing. There's nothing you can't do. You know I love you, right? Every day, man. You know how powerful it is for a kid to hear from his mother, I love you? Whew. I believed it. So I have many problems. Self-esteem is not one of them. It's okay if you don't like me. I like me. I'm not as good as my compliments. I'm not as bad as my criticisms. I am who I am. You like me, great. You don't like me, still great. It's okay if you don't like me, I like me, as I said earlier. Not 1 ounce of my self-esteem resolves or responds or depends on your acceptance of me. There is a definition of life, and you've got to become it. So that was my first wealth. That was the seeds I was planting in. That's why I don't like people talking about baby daddies and baby mamas. What does that do to the self-esteem of the kid? That's my baby daddy. That's my baby mama. That's my baby. That's your mother or your father. That's what I love about you, man. Another reason. You take care of your family.
Yes, sir.
You claim them. So my mother said, that's my kid. That's my child. When she showed up at my school, I was in trouble, and she would show up there a lot. When she got laid off from McDonnell Douglas Aircraft, she didn't go on welfare. She wouldn't ask my principal what jobs are available at this school. The only job was a janitorial service. My mother, trained as a seamstress, all that stuff, became a janitor because she wanted to, and then she was a security guard after that, because she wanted to be around me. She wanted to make sure I wasn't tearing my ASS. I didn't like it. I didn't like my mother being at the school. She said, I don't care what you like. I'm not your best friend, I'm your mother. Here's another lesson for life. I'd rather you respect me and learn to like me than like me and never respect me. These are all fundamental principles that came from that first investor in my life, my mother. So the first real wealth I found in the way that our audience will appreciate was a guy named Harvey Baskin. He'd be a billionaire today. He's worth about $100 million then. And this is in one of my books. I don't remember which one. I think it was Up From Nothing, or the memo. And I worked for him okay. I wanted to figure out how money worked. I told you that story. So I was in Compton. I'd catch the bus, RTD. We called it Rough, Tough, and Dirty. And I'd catch the bus to Santa Monica to work at a restaurant called Gladstone's for Fish.
Right.
And I quit after a couple weeks because I was waiting on doctors and attorneys and bankers. These were the agents for wealth. I wanted to get next to wealth. So I quit Gladstone's for Fish and went up the coast by bus to Joffrey's restaurant, which is still there to this day, which had all the, what we call billionaires today, ballers who were having dinner there. I wasn't a very good waiter, so they gave me I was a busboy than a waiter, but they gave me the Monday night shift, which is basically for losers.
No.
And if I was in NFL terms, I wouldn't even be third string. I'd be the training camp, I'd be the tackling dummy. I was really bad as a waiter. I didn't care. I wanted to get next to the owner. The owner was a guy named Harvey Baskin. And I impressed him, and he hired me as an assistant to work with him at his house. And I ear hustled, man. I was just nosy all the time. What was he doing? How was he doing it? And one day I asked him, could I take him to dinner? We went to dinner. I had to drive. It was like driving Miss Daisy because he had broken legs. So he was sitting in the back in my Audi. I didn't have a car. He paid me $21,000 a year. Anyway, but the real education was the knowledge. So anyway, we go to this restaurant. The bill comes, and now this is 30 years ago, 30 plus years ago. Bill comes, and it's $100. I only had $120. I'm like, I pushed the bill to Harvey. Harvey pushes the bill back to me.
The electric slide.
I pushed the bill back to Harvey. He pushed the bill back to me. He said, hey, slow down, man. Now think about somebody in your life who did this to you. Because I know somebody really mentored you. He said, look, stop this. You gotta decide what you want, man. Do you wanna pick my brain or pick my pocket? One lasts longer. It's your choice. What he was saying was, I've been plying him for a whole hour and a half for knowledge. Right. Really 3 hours with the drive. He knows what I was doing.
Yeah.
that knowledge was worth.
But that's the transaction, though, and a lot of that goes over people's mind. Meaning, a lot of people look at compensation as a tangible thing, right?
Right.
Compensation can be in many different ways. It could be through financial gain. It could be through educational gain. It could be also just
Relationships.
Relationships.
Relationship capital.
It's multiple different things, right?
You know Magic Johnson.
Yes, sir.
And Magic would use his prominence and his fame to go meet with whoever was on the front row in the games and ask them to go to lunch. The business people.
Yeah.
What is he today? A businessman. Anybody in sports and entertainment who's a billionaire got there because they transferred from rocking the stage or rocking the mic or whatever to owning the stage. They transferred into business, which is what, by the way, I see you doing, using that brand to transfer over. And that's what I was trying to do in my own way, was trying to go from cashing a check to writing it. So this guy, I paid that $100, gave my last $20 to the waiter, $20 tip.
Oh my goodness.
I was broke.
What was that, the pursuit to happiness in real life?
Serious, real life. It was a real life example that I was dead broke. I had enough gas to get back to his house. But I had passed the test with Harvey. And now Harvey put his arm around me. Everywhere we went, this is my guy. This is Hope Bryant, he's with me. So I started meeting people. And they were like, okay, well, and then that led to me getting an office in Beverly Hills, a lady named Kip Morrison, who's still alive today. And I rented an office for her for $500 a month. I was homeless at that point. I only had $500 a month coming in, and so I had to either rent an apartment or rent an office. So I rented an office, and I slept in my Jeep. But it was in Beverly Hills. It was the right location, the right address, and it put me in the flow of, once again, wealth. And after 6 months, I worked my way out of living in a Jeep. And everybody laughed at me. My credit score back then was 300 or 400. I didn't care. I walked through life consciously oblivious of most things around me because it just doesn't matter. You have created your own style, brother. Yeah. You had to have done the same thing. Because if you try to be like everybody else, you'd be like everybody else. Yeah. But now, clearly, this is like, you could create your own, this is probably coming, your own clothing line, your own hat line, your own eyeglass line, your own brand, your own hair care products. I mean, your whole vibe is a walking testimony to brand building. But you had to walk your own path. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
How did I know that about you? We haven't talked about it. It's obvious.